You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. Nigerians can now access advanced robotic surgeries right now in Lagos through a system known as the Da Vinci. Now, the Da Vinci system allows surgeons to perform precise operations using 3D imaging and remotely controlled instruments, which helps to reduce the risk of damage to internal organs. Speaking on Channels Television, Professor Kingsley Ikweme explained that the system's 10 times magnification enables doctors to see structures clearly and operate with greater accuracy.
So you have 4 keyholes. 1 is the camera and 3 are instruments that will be docked into the patient. And then you have the vision cart, the bedside assistant looks at. And then you have a console, which is remote from the area of the patient, the table and things of the theater, where the surgeon sits and looks into a lens that magnifies all the images inside the abdomen 10 times in 3 dimensions. And you can see structures like you've never seen them before. And the instruments of the robot are so designed that they can reach deep down into any areas.
Professor Ikweme also urged men who have reached 45 years of age to begin regular prostate checks, warning that over 60% of prostate cancers in Nigeria are diagnosed too late for a cure, making early detection critical.
If identified early, it can be cured. But unfortunately, in Nigeria as it stands, over 60% of prostate cancer are diagnosed late, and that's incurable. We have ways of palliating it, which means we can control the cancer and slow down the rate of growth, but you cannot be cured. I would advise that if you have a family history, you should start at the age of 45. All right.
And now to security. Troops of Operation Hadinkai in Borno State have rescued 86 kidnapped victims and arrested 29 people accused of supplying materials to terrorists. The media information officer of the Joint Task Force Northeast, Lieutenant Colonel Sani Uba, confirmed this in a statement. He said soldiers from the 135 Special Forces Battalion under Sector 2 clashed with Boko Haram and ISWAP fighters on November 9, 2025 at Dutse Kura. The troops recovered items including an AK-47 rifle, 5 magazines with 73 bullets, 4 ammunition belts, 5 vehicles, 5 motorcycles, 8 bicycles, and 2 tricycles used for logistics. In Abuja, the minister of the FCT, Yesomike, has given property owners who converted their land use without approval a 14-day ultimatum to pay a 5 million naira violation fee. The grace period, which began on November 11th, requires affected owners to visit the Department of Land Administration with their title documents and valid ID to regularize their land use and obtain updated titles for a fresh 99-year term. Senior Special Assistant to the Minister, Lere Olayenka, warned that failure to comply within the time frame will lead to enforcement actions by the FCT administration. And now in business, the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association has expressed support for the federal government's 15% import tariff on petrol and diesel, saying it will strengthen the naira and attract investment. NECA's Director General Adewale Smart Oyerinde describes the policy as a key step toward protecting local industries and encouraging domestic refining of petroleum products. He adds that the tariff will promote local value addition, conserve foreign exchange, and support Nigeria's industrialization agenda. Oyerinde, however, urges the government to manage the policy carefully to avoid price distortions and ensure it benefits both the economy and consumers. In entertainment, Nollywood actress Uche Montana has denied claims linking her to the alleged drug abuse issue involving actress Regina Daniels and her husband, Senator Ned Nwoko. Montana made the clarification in a statement on her Instagram page on Monday. This came days after Nwoko, in a Facebook post, accused Regina's siblings and friends, including actresses Sonia Uche and Uche Montana, of disrupting his wife's rehabilitation process. He alleged that the group often ignored medical advice restricting their access to Regina during therapy and sometimes brought her the same drugs she was being treated for. And we move straight to sports. Pep Guardiola marked his 1,000th match as a manager with a commanding 3-0 Manchester City, with a 3-0 Manchester City win over Liverpool at the Etihad Stadium. Erling Haaland continued his prolific form, scoring his 28th goal of the season for club and country to set City on their way. Nico Gonzalez and man of the match, Jeremy Doku, scored the other goals. The win takes Man City back to second, cutting Arsenal's lead to just 4 points.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Well, that's a wrap of the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major headlines. You heard that an international relations analyst says countries that align with the U.S. may back President Donald Trump's position on Nigeria. We told you that Nigerians in the U.S. are calling on the federal government to address concerns raised by President Trump. You heard that CAN and the Islamic Supreme Council have disagreed over the Christian genocide comments by the U.S. And also we reported that reactions are trailing Governor Soludo's win in the Anambra governorship election. The news was edited by Ifunaya Obeme Ndukwe. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili. Many thanks for listening.